Once again, welcome everyone. So this is the third lecture of straight line. So let me give a quick recap. What all things we have discussed in the first two lectures. The first part we discussed about what is slope, and then from there we define what is angle. First we define what is angle of inclination, then we define slope, and then how to find out slope if 2 points are given, and then if two lines are perpendicular, what is the condition? If two lines are parallel, what is the condition? So all these things were discussed. Okay, then later on we move to collinear things, that if when 3 points are collinear, so with the help of the slope also we can figure out. Then later on we move to the different equations of straight lines, where like the first one was a slope point form, then we discussed 2 point form, then we had slope intercept form, then we have intercept form, then we also saw normal form, isn't it? Then we saw how to convert the normal form into a slope intercept form or intercept form. Sorry, the general form, please pardon me, how to convert the general form into slope intercept form and intercept form. Then also we saw the normal form, which was x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p, where p is the perpendicular distance and omega is the angle made by the perpendicular from with the positive direction of x-axis in anti-clockwise direction, and the perpendicular we are drawing from the origin. Okay, so now here what we are going ahead with is that how to convert a general equation, that ax plus by plus c, into the normal form. Okay, so normally when I ask in the class, let's say we have a 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. So then I ask uh, if we want to convert it into the normal form, so students will say like, okay, no problem, we can write this 2 as cos omega and 3 as sin omega. But cos omega cannot be 2, isn't it? From trigonometry we know that cos omega, cos of any angle lies between -1 to 1, isn't it? So your cos omega cannot be 2 and sin omega cannot be 3. It means taking directly in the form is not acceptable. So some manipulations we have to do, isn't it? So what manipulations we are doing? So let us assume that the general form is ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and the normal form is x cos omega plus y sin omega and minus p equal to 0, where p is the distance, so p always is going to be positive. Now in 10th standard you would have learned that if two equations are representing the same line, it means what the lines are coincident, isn't it? So what is the condition? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2, and we can equate it to some another constant k, isn't it? So we can figure out from here what is cos omega. So if you equate first and the last, you get cos omega is equal to a by k, and if you equate this, you got sin omega is equal to b by k. But understand, k is some unknown quantity. Okay, so our target would be what? That we eliminate this, isn't it? So we know one identity from trigonometry, that cos square plus cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So we are using that fact, and from there you got like a square by k square plus b square by k square is equal to 1, or you further simplify this, we got k is equal to root under a square plus b square. Okay, so we got cos omega is how much? A by k, which is a by root under a square plus b square, and sin omega is b by root under a square plus b square. Now what is the equation? So in place of cos omega we can write a by root under a square plus b square, and in place of y we can write in place of by, there we can write how much? by root, in place of sin omega we can write how much? b by root under a square plus b square. And in place of p, what you can write? So you can see from here, if you equate this quantity, you get p is equal to how much? Minus e by k, and k is how much? Root under a square plus b square. Okay, now somebody can argue here is that see, when you have taken k square, so k square is equal to not only root under a square plus b square, isn't it? Because you would have learnt like root under k square is equal to what? Mod k. You would have learned for x, root under x square is equal to what? Mod x. So it means k we should take plus value or minus value, isn't it? So thing is, for one line, two equations will not come, isn't it? So either we have to take or either we have to take plus or we have to take minus, isn't it? So for that, what logic we are giving here is that, see, when you write x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p, this p is a positive quantity, isn't it? So what you do, this equation, if you want to convert it into x cos omega plus y sin omega equal to p, you send the c on the right hand side and ensure that the quantity is positive. What exactly I mean? Suppose the equation is x plus 2y plus 3 equal to 0. Another equation is x plus 2y, let's say minus 5 equal to 0. Send this 3 on the right side. So what do you got? You got x plus 2y is equal to minus 3. Okay. Now I am telling you make this quantity positive. So how will you make positive? You can't erase this minus, isn't it? So use a mathematical operation and multiply minus both the sides. So this will be minus, this will be minus, and this will become plus. Whereas in the second equation, you can get x plus 2y equal to 5. So automatically the 5 is positive, isn't it? So now you don't have to do much. So step number 1 is what? Step number 1 is that you send the constant on the right side and ensure that the constant is positive. And why we are doing this? Because in x cos omega plus y sin omega equal to p, that p is a positive number. And then divide by root under a square plus b square. So here is the thing, what I said is written. The transpose constant on the right side and make it positive and divide by root under a square plus b square. Let's see a quick example. Suppose this is the question and we want to reduce into normal form. So pause the video, write answer and then verify. I'm going ahead. So this I can write root 3x plus y is equal to 8. So I can see the constant is already positive. So now I have to divide by what? Root under a square plus b square. So what is a? A is root 3 and what is b? B is 1. So when you will evaluate this, you will get root 3 square, which is 3, 1 square 1, so we got 2. So we'll divide by 2, so our equation will be root 3 by 2x plus y by 2y is equal to 4. If you further want, here it's easy to compare and evaluate. So cos x cos omega, so here omega is how much? 60 degree. So we can write x cos 60 degree plus y sine 60 degree is equal to 4. So omega is how much? Omega is 60 degree, and what is p? P is equal to 4. Okay. So I think you can see some problems in NCERT. There are some unsolved examples in the exercise related to this conversion. Please make sure practice some problems from there. Okay. So I'm heading ahead. The next we have is some note points we have. See, in 10th standard, you would have learned like when two lines are parallel, they taught a condition. I mean, you were taught a condition like a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2. But have you thought about it, that from where it came? Okay. So now you can think this. See, if two lines are parallel, we said that their slopes are equal, isn't it? And what is the slope? Slope is minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y. So from first line we got the slope as minus a1 by b1, and from the second line we got slope as minus a2 by b2. So if these two lines are parallel, what we can write? m1 is equal to m2, isn't it? That we have learnt already. So when we do this, you got a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2, or when you do the cross multiplication, you got a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2. Okay. Similarly, what is the condition for perpendicular? So if two lines are perpendicular, we know that m1 m2 is equal to minus 1, isn't it? So m1 is this, m2 is this, their product is how much? Minus 1. So do cross multiplication and bring on the left hand side, you will see like you get a condition a1 plus a2 plus b1 plus, sorry, a1 a2 plus b1 b2 is equal to 0. Okay. Now the next important point we have is that suppose if I ask you, tell me a line parallel to this. Okay. So if a line is parallel to this, the slope will be same, isn't it? The slope will be same. It means what? That the new equation that I'll be getting, there this part anyway is going to be same only, isn't it? Like ax plus by. Okay. Because here whatever I write, the slope still will be what? Minus a by. So these two lines are going to be parallel. Means the slope will depend on the coefficient of x and y, isn't it? So the only thing that is going to differ is what? Constant. So what I can say, if somebody asks me that, tell me a line which is parallel to 2x plus 3y equal to 5 equal to 0, I will write 2x plus 3y plus lambda equal to 0. Now what is lambda? Lambda is a parameter here. So how to figure out lambda? For that they have to give me information that this line is passing through this point, or x intercept is this, or y intercept is this. So some information they will give to evaluate this lambda. Okay. Similarly, suppose a line is given as ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and you want a line which is perpendicular. So here the slope is what? Minus a by b. So for perpendicular line, the slope will be what? B by a. How we are getting m1 m2 equal to minus 1. So if slope is b by a, means b is going to be the coefficient for x and m is this, isn't it? So normally when you write the slope, what you write? You write a minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y, isn't it? Which is equal to b by a. So by comparing, normally we don't say like x by y is equal to how much, 2 by 3. It doesn't mean that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. But here you can take it that way, it will not make any difference because accordingly the lambda value will change. So if you see this line bx minus ay, what is the slope here? Here slope is b by a, isn't it? Somebody can say, sir, what if I take minus bx plus ay? Still no problem, you can take this also because still the slope will be what? B by a. Okay. It is not necessary. You can always use the fact that m1 is equal to m2 for parallel and m1 m2 is equal to minus 1 for perpendicular lines. But if you remember this, it will be easily like you can write x and y part. Only the constant you have to figure out. For that, based on the given information, we can evaluate it. Now quickly, suppose this is a question. Find the equation of a line parallel to the line 3x minus 4y. So what I will do first thing is, first I will write 3x minus 4y and plus lambda is equal to 0. How to find this lambda? So this line is passing through minus 2 comma 3, isn't it? So substitute here. So you got how much? 3 into minus 2 minus 4 into 3 and plus lambda is 0. So we got minus 6 minus 18 plus lambda is 0. So we got lambda is equal to 18. So what is the equation? 3x minus 4y plus 18 is equal to 0. Okay. Somebody will say, sir, can we do with the other method? So other method is, yes, more or less it is same, only that you figure out what is the slope. So what is the slope? Minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y, and then use slope point form. Y minus 3 is equal to slope into x minus of minus 2. When you simplify this, you will see that exactly same equation will come. Okay, so why to do unnecessary all this? We can use that one. Similarly, find the equation of the line perpendicular to the line this. So see, perpendicular they're asking, isn't it? So interchange. So you can write here how much? 7x, and minus is there, so write plus y. Okay. How we are writing? Interchange the coefficients and at one place change the sign. So that because here the slope will be how much? 1 by 7, and here the slope will be what? Minus 7. The product is minus 1. And take again some lambda equal to 0. Now we have to find this lambda. For that they're telling x-intercept is 3. What is x-intercept? X-intercept is this, isn't it? So when it is x-intercept, you can see the y coordinate will be 0, isn't it? It means this point is what? 3 comma 0. So indirectly they are telling that this line is passing through the point 3 comma 0. So we got 7 into 3 plus 0 plus lambda equal to 0. So we got lambda is equal to minus 21. So what is the equation? Equation is 7x plus y minus 21 equal to 0. Or you try other way, find the slope and m1 m2 equal to minus 1 and do this. Okay. Okay, let us take a more question. The question is, suppose a triangle is given. A triangle PQR is given whose coordinates are 2 comma 1 4 comma 5 and minus 2 comma 3, and we want the equation of median, altitude and perpendicular bisector for the base QR. Basically we can find for all the three, but I am showing example for the QR. Other things you can take care. So think like this. Median. First thing, what is a median? So median is a line which joins the vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side, and it is not necessary that median is always perpendicular. For example, if you take obtuse angle triangle and when you try to draw the median, this angle definitely is not going to be 90 degree. Okay, so part 1 I'm solving. Let's say with this. So solution, first part. So let's say we have, let's draw something like this. The diagram is symmetric, so it may appear that it is perpendicular, but assume it is not perpendicular. Okay. So we can find what is m coordinates. M coordinates are x1 plus x2 by 2, isn't it? So 4 plus of minus 2 is 1. 4 plus of minus 2 is 2. 2 by 2 is 1. And 5 plus 3 by 2, which is how much? 4. So m coordinates is 1 by 4. Is it okay? Now you know p also, isn't it? P is how much? 2 comma 1. So if you want the equation of median, it will be what? Y minus 4 is equal to 1 minus 4 by 2 minus 1 into x minus 1. What I have used? I have used a 2-point form. Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, and evaluate this. So this is the answer. Simplify this and get the final answer. Okay. I hope you can simplify this, so I'm not going into it. Okay. Second part is altitude. So what is altitude? Altitude is basically a line which is perpendicular to a perpendicular drawn from the vertex. Okay, so this was P, this was Q, and this is r. So our target is what? Let's call this point at some n. So we have to find the equation of Pn. So what fact we will use? We will use the fact that Pn is perpendicular to Qr, isn't it? So think, you know the slope of Qr. What is the slope of Qr? So we can figure out slope of Qr is how much? Y2 minus 1, so 5 minus 3 by 5 minus 3 is 2, and 4 minus of minus 2 is 6, which is 1 by 3. So slope of Qr is 1 by 3. So what is the slope of Pn? So they are perpendicular, so it is going to be how much? Minus 3. Okay, sorry. So now equation of Pn, you know the slope and you know a point, isn't it? So you can write y minus 1 is equal to minus 3 into x minus 2. Simplify this, this is going to be the required equation of altitude. Okay. Now the third part. What is third part? Third part is perpendicular bisector. So what is a perpendicular bisector? So name itself clarifies. It is perpendicular and bisector. Okay. So what you have to appreciate here is that when you are drawing the perpendicular, this perpendicular and this altitude, both are making 90 degree to the same line, isn't it? So what I can say is that this line and this line is going to be parallel. Okay, so slope of the altitude Pn is going to be slope of the perpendicular bisector. Can you understand this? Because to a same line, two lines are perpendicular, so we can show that they are parallel, isn't it? Because corresponding angles are equal. So angle bisector slope is going to be how much? Minus 3. Also angle bisector, sorry, not angle bisector, perpendicular bisector. Okay, similarly the perpendicular bisector also divides the opposite side into two equal parts, isn't it? So what we can say, this point is going to be the midpoint, and in the first part of the question already you have figured out that the midpoint is what? 1 comma 4. So this perpendicular bisector is also passing through the point 1 comma 4. So you know the slope, you know the point, you can write line equation y minus 4 is equal to minus 3 into x minus 1. Simplify this, this is the required equation. Okay, so very quickly let me give you a quick recap what we said. See, if you want median, take the midpoint of the opposite base and 2 points you got, use 2-point form, write the line equation. You want altitude, altitude is perpendicular to the base both the coordinates are given. So if you know the slope of that, using m1 m2 equal to minus 1, you can find the slope of altitude, isn't it? And altitude passes through the vertex, so you know slope and point, write the line equation. Third part is perpendicular bisector. So perpendicular bisector is a line which is perpendicular as well as bisector. So either you can use the fact that perpendicular bisector will be perpendicular to the base, isn't it? So m1 m2 equal to minus 1. But why to unnecessary do when we already have the slope of altitude? Because altitude and perpendicular bisector will be parallel because they are perpendicular to the same line. Okay, and perpendicular bisector will pass through the midpoint also, isn't it? Midpoint of the opposite base. So you have the midpoint already, you have the slope. Using slope point form you can write the line equation. Okay, so similarly if you want to try on your own, what you can do, you can take PR as a base, and to PR you can try to write what is the angle bisector, sorry, what is the perpendicular bisector equation, altitude and median. Okay. Next we are going to the next topic, that is angle between the two lines. So this part already we have covered when I was discussing the slope, but we can take when the equations are given. Their slopes were given, here the equations are given. So like we have an additional job is to figure out what is the slope. Okay, so same logic, no change. Tan, if beta is the angle between the two straight lines, then tan beta is what? M2 minus M1 by 1 plus M1 M2. Why we have taken modulus? Because modulus will ensure that we get the positive value, and positive value will ensure that we are talking about the acute angle between the two straight lines. If things are a little bit not very clear, you can watch out the first video. Okay, so let's say we have the question, find acute angle between the lines. So what is the slope here? It should be spontaneous. It is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y, which is how much? 1 by 2. And here what is the slope? It is minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y. So you want the angle, isn't it? So let's say theta is the angle, so tan theta is m2 minus m1. Anyone you can consider m1, anything you can consider as m2. Okay, so minus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 2 divided by 1 plus minus 2 by 3 into 1 by 2. So when you simplify this, how much we got? We got like minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7 by 6, and 6 minus 2 is 4 by 6. So if I'm not wrong, we got how much tan theta is equal to 7 by 4. Calculation, just check. Okay, these are basic calculations. You can ask your smaller brothers or sisters in your house also to do this calculation. Okay. So next we have is find the acute angle between these lines. So again, here what is the slope? Here the slope is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y, which is 2. Let's call it as m1, and m2 is minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y, which is minus 1 by 2. So here basically you don't have to calculate anything. You can directly picturize that, m1 m2 is equal to what? Minus 1. So when m1 m2 equal to minus 1, it means angle between them is how much? 90 degree. Okay, let's go ahead. So now imagine a situation like, suppose this blue line is given. Okay, so when this blue line is given, it means what? The equation of the blue line is given. If the equation of blue line is given, it means what? Indirectly slope is given. Suppose they ask you, tell me how many lines are there which makes 30 degree with this blue line. Think and answer. How many lines are there which makes 30 degree with this blue line? So most probably by seeing this diagram, your answer would be 2. But answer is infinite, because you can keep drawing lines like this, parallel, parallel, parallel. And you can see all of them are making how much? 30 degree. Okay. So there are infinite lines. Is it okay? But what will be unique about them is that if you are drawing these lines, you will see that all these lines are going to be what? Parallel lines. Means their slopes are going to be what? Same. And similarly, this side also the slopes will be what? Same. So one thing we can guarantee here is that that's okay, that infinite lines will be there, but you will have the slopes values same. Means right side there will be one slope value, left hand side there will be another slope value. So our target is what? That so far we were dealing with a question like we have to find angle between the two straight lines. Now they will give you the angle and they will ask you that find me the slope. Means think like this. Imagine you are standing, okay? And let's say you are standing and you are facing north. Okay, you are facing north, and one of your friend is standing here. So I am telling you, you tell me what is the angle between them. So what you can do, you can draw a straight line and you can try to figure out angle between this. But now what I'm telling you is that you stand and face north and tell me who are the people who is making 30 degree with you. So you can have a situation where you will make 30 degree, or you can have a situation which will make 30 degree, isn't it? These are the only two possibilities. So what is the slope of this line? This is what we are trying to figure out. So no problem. Let's say these are the two lines whose slopes are m1 and m2. Let's say L1 and L2 are such lines whose slopes are m1 and m2. Okay. So if you see here from the triangle, this much angle is alpha, isn't it? Alpha is what? Alpha is the angle of inclination of the given line. And you want another line which makes 30 degrees. So this angle, if you add it, it will become how much? Alpha plus 30. So here we have taken theta. So this angle is going to be what? Alpha plus theta. Alpha plus theta is what? It is the angle of inclination of the first line. Okay. Similarly, if I ask you what about m2? So m2 is making this much angle, isn't it? So can I say this much angle is this much angle minus this angle? So what is this angle? This angle is alpha, and what is this angle? Theta. So from alpha, if you subtract theta, you will get the remaining angle, isn't it? So in short, what we can understand that slope of the first line m1 will be what? Tan of alpha plus theta, and slope of the second line will be what? Tan of alpha minus theta. Can you understand this? So now we can open this. So slope of first line is what? Tan of alpha plus theta. So what is tan A plus B? It is tan A plus tan B by tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. Okay, you would have learned in trigonometry. What is tan alpha? Tan alpha is the slope of the given line, so we can write m. What is tan theta? So theta, they will give you like 30 degree, 45 degree, 15 degree. So those values already you know, isn't it? So what is the slope of first line? It is m plus tan theta by 1 minus tan theta. Similarly, what is the slope of second line? It is alpha minus theta, angle of inclination. So slope will be tan of alpha minus theta. So you got m minus tan theta by 1 plus m tan theta. What exactly I'm trying to convey here is that if somebody asks you, find me a line, find me the slope of the line which makes 30 degree with a given line whose slope is, let's say, 1 by 2. So what will you do? You will say the slope of those two lines will be 1 by 2 plus minus tan 30, which is how much? 1 by root 3 divided by 1 minus plus m, which is 1 by 2, and which is how much, 1 by root 3. Evaluate this value, one time with plus and one time with minus, and that will be the required answer. अब here just be careful. Here you will not take 4 cases, that plus 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 minus. You don't have that much luxury. If you are taking here plus, here you have to take minus. If here minus, here it has to be plus. Okay. So suppose we have a question like find the slope of a line making an angle 30 degree. And with this, so indirectly they're giving slope. What is the slope? Slope is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y, which is how much? 2 by 3. So you want slope, isn't it? So m1 comma m2 is m, which is 2 by 3, plus or minus tan 30 is how much? 1 by root 3 divided by 1 minus plus m, which is 2 by 3 into slope, which is 1 by root 3. So solve for plus and minus. So we can call anyone as m1. I'm solving for plus, so it will be like 2 root 3 plus 3 divided by 3 root 3 minus 1. And m2 we can solve for minus, so just interchange the sign. This will be 3 and this will be 3 root 3 plus 1. Okay, so these are the two answers. Okay. Similarly, I hope this you can do on your own. So I will do it. So find the slope of the lines inclined at an angle 60 degree with this. Okay. See, you can solve this problem like the previous one. Okay. But some problems we can also solve by observation. Means here you try to see what is the slope. Slope is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of y, which is how much? Minus 1 by root 3. Minus 1 by root 3 is corresponding to what angle? Think. So tan 150. Because tan 150 you can write as how much? Tan 180 minus 30. Tan 180 minus 30 is minus tan 30, which is minus 1 by root 3. Okay. So basically alpha is how much? 150 degree. See like this by observation how we are solving. There is a line. Imagine the line is passing through the origin. Doesn't make any difference. Suppose this is a line. Okay. X is minus 4. That's okay. And y should be. Okay. Take it. So this angle is how much? 150 degree. Now you want a line which makes 60 degree with this. So what are the two possibility? 60 degree will come in this direction. Means you will rotate 60 degree additionally in this direction, isn't it? Or 60 degree you will rotate in this direction, isn't it? Are you getting this? Okay. So what I exactly mean is that if you rotate 60 degree in this, so total is 150 and you are rotating 60 degree on the clockwise direction. So how much angle it will make? If you understand properly, this angle is going to be what? 90 degree. Means the line whose angle of inclination is 90 degree will make 60 degree with the line whose angle of inclination is 150 degree. So for a vertical line, what is the slope? Slope is undefined. Okay. Other is what? Other is that you make 60 degree in this direction, isn't it? So when you make 60 degree in this direction, what is the total angle? So this much total angle will be what? 150 plus 60, which is 210, isn't it? But we know angle of inclination lies between 0 to pi, isn't it? So this angle is also equivalent to this angle, isn't it? And this angle is only how much? 30 degree. So slope will be what? Slope will be tan 30, which is equal to 1 by root 3. So the two lines which is going to make 60 degree with this given line, right? They'll be infinite, but the slope we can be particular. So one line will have a slope undefined and the other line will have a slope of 1 by root 3. Okay. Now let's take one more question on this. Okay, yeah, so we'll take one last question on this topic. So what we have is, let ABC be an equilateral triangle, vertex is a2 comma 3 and equation of BC is this. Then find equation of AB and AC. Okay, this is little interesting question. And this we will see again when we will discuss angle bisector. Okay, so as of now you try to understand here. What is happening here is, see there is a equilateral triangle and let's say this is B and this is C and this is A. A is given as 2 comma 3 and this is, let's say, 2x plus 2x minus y plus 7 equal to 0. So you know what is the angle, isn't it? This angle is going to be what? 60 degree and this angle is again going to be what? 60 degree. So you think like this, if I extend here, okay, and if I shift this line here, okay, can you see there are two lines which are making 60 degree with the baseline? Means this line is also making 60 degree let me change the color to give a better understanding. Suppose if you take a draw a line parallel like this, okay, so can you see this line is also making 60° and this line is also making 60°. So indirectly this question is of the previous concept, isn't it, that you have to find two lines, right, which is making what, 60° with the given line, isn't it? So how to get the slope? We have already a formula, isn't it? What formula? That slope of those lines m1 comma m2 is equal to slope of this line, which is m is how much, m is 2 minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y plus minus tan theta. Your tan theta is how much, root 3 divided by 1 minus plus m1 m2. So what are your slopes? Your first slope is 2 plus root 3 by 1 minus 2 root 3, and the other slope is 2 minus root 3 by 1 plus 2 root 3. Okay, but these are the slopes, isn't it? But they are asking particularly what is the equation of the line, isn't it? Equation of the line. So equation of AB is, so you got the slope of AB, isn't it? So let's say m1 is the slope of AB and m2 is the slope of AC. Now they are passing through the point A, isn't it? So you know a point, so you can use slope point form. So you can write y minus 3 is equal to m1, which is 2 plus root 3 by 1 minus 2 root 3 into x minus 2. This is one equation, and the other equation is y minus 3 is equal to 2 minus root 3 by 1 plus 2 root 3 into x minus 2. This is the second equation. So this is the equation of AB and AC. So here, if I remember the discussion, sometimes what students ask is that how you can shift this line here. Okay. See, I am not shifting this line here. What I am trying to say is that if I draw this line, if this angle is 60, this angle also is 60, isn't it? Let's say this, I am taking another line. Let me make it a red color. This line is making 60°. But you know that this angle is also 60, isn't it? So I can show that this angle is equal to this angle. So if I extend this, and if I extend this, you can show like 60 60, isn't it? So they are parallel lines by the converse of corresponding angles, isn't it? So from there also we can show they are parallel. If they are parallel, I have used this concept only to find the slope, nothing else. So if they are parallel, we know the slopes will be equal. Okay, so that's all for this lecture. The next topic we'll see in the next lecture. Thank you.